Hi guys and welcome to All About Food. Today I will be showing you how to make a beautiful pork belly. In your oven, at home, you can have a restaurant worthy dish. So stay tuned and let me show you how we do it. I'll be showing you how to make a traditional South African pork belly. As you can see, I've got my pork belly in my oven dish, and the only thing I want to do now first is I want to steam my pork belly in my oven. So you just need to put your pork belly into a dish that's uh, rather big. It depends on how big your pork belly is, and then you're only going to need 1 cup of water and a bit of salt. So I'm going to pour this over, and then I'm going to put it into the oven, let it steam for 1 hour. Then I'm taking it out, and as we go along I'll explain to you what we're doing, so stay tuned. Okay, so basically now I just want to, firstly you're going to need a lot of salt because this is a um, big piece of meat, so don't worry about the salt. Okay, so your salt is on top, and then you're going to pour your water on. You're going to put some foil on top of this and into the oven to let it steam for an hour at 180 degrees. So just like this, you just get yourself a piece of foil, cover your meat or your pork belly, and then it goes into the oven, and after an hour I'll show you what it looks like. I'm not putting any other spice on as yet. I just want to steam it first because the steaming is going to make the meat a bit more soft. So stay tuned and I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. So as you can see, my pork belly is out of the oven and I've steamed it for enough now. So now what I want to do is I want to put on a basting. So this is actually where all your flavor and all your spices and everything comes together to give your pork belly a nice texture and a nice taste, and this is where we put the taste in. So now it's nice and soft. As you can see, this is what you want it to be nice and soft. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I've turned my pork belly just around because I want to baste the downside first, and then I'm going to put it in the oven, and then for the second time I'm going to take it out, and then I'm going to do the top part, and lastly we will do a last basting as well, just to give us that nice sticky structure that we want. Okay, so the ingredients I have, the only ones I'm going to use, I have some paprika, I have some barbecue spice, I have some brown sugar, I've got some lemon juice, maybe from 1 or 2 lemons, and of course some salt. So these four, I'm going to mix them together to make my marinade or my basting, and the salt I'm just going to add a little bit on top because my basting I'm going to put on with my brush. So just a little bit of salt, and then all of these four I'm going to mix together. Lemon juice. Don't have to take as much of your sugar because we don't want the pork belly to actually burn now. We just want to sweeten it a bit. So at the last minute or maybe the last half an hour or so, we are going to be mixing a bit more sugar. Okay, so just mix all your spices together, just like this, because later on you're going to mix some more. This is just to start us off with. Okay, so you just mix them up and you get the beautiful marinade with some sweet and sour. Okay, so now I've got my brush and I'm just going to nicely brush it over. Just be careful because everything is still a bit hot. Remember, it came out of the oven. So I just want to start to cover it nicely. I just want to add, you can do the pork belly over open fire as well, but you can do it just as nicely in your oven. So that's why I'm showing you how to do this in your oven. This is time consuming, but the end result is going to be very nice and succulent. So you just make sure that everything is nicely covered, because it's going in for a while, and then we're going to turn it around and do exactly the same. So this is going to cook also maybe for an hour or two, and then later on I'll show you what the last bits is that we are going to do before we serve this. We're going to serve this with beautiful chips and a salad on the side. Okay, so now if you're happy and you think it's marinated pretty good, then you can just add your foil again and back into the oven. And I'll say maybe after half an hour or so, I'll take it out and turn it around and do exactly the same as I've done now. So I'll show you what it looks like if I turn it around. So it's been in the oven for maybe 25 minutes, just to make sure that the first basting stick. Now I just want to turn it over. You can also do both sides at the same time. So it doesn't matter how you do this, just as long as both sides actually get some of your marinade. Okay, so just put the rest on this side. As you can see, there's already a few grooves that's cut in here. So you can just ask your butcher to do that for you. If your butcher did not do this, you can just take a very sharp knife and just cut in some grooves in your pork belly. Okay, so now you just take the last of all your basting. Just make sure it gets into all the cracks and all the spaces. Just like this, just get it in there. And then covering it, and then it goes to the oven for 2 hours or maybe 1 hour. So you can, just depends on your oven, you can just check it maybe after 1 hour. Just get the last bit in there. Then you cover it with foil again, and in it goes until you check it again. And remember, your oven must be at 180 degrees, and we cover it because we don't want it to burn now. This we will do afterwards. The last half an hour before you dish it up, you can uncover it, and that's where we want to put some extra sugar to make it look a bit sticky. So stay tuned. Okay guys, and as you can see, this beautiful piece of meat is out of the oven, and this is what it looks like. Beautifully browned and very, very soft and tender. So enjoy guys, and keep watching. Thanks.